Minister wa githomo Dagitari Julius Ogamba nĩ umbũrĩte atĩ thirikari ndĩkoragwo na njĩra ya kũmenya ũrĩa bursary ihũthĩkaga yarekererio ona kana nĩ ikinyagĩra arĩa irongoreirio. Mĩario ĩrĩa rĩu ĩtumũrĩte kwaga wĩtĩkio ũigĩrĩrĩki-inĩ wa Ministry ya githomo ya bũrũri.
Allow me to respond to these questions, the four sub-questions together.
Mĩario ĩno ya Minister wa githomo yumanĩte na ciũria iria egũcokagia arĩ bunge-inĩ ya Senate. Senator wa Kiambu Karũngo wa Thang'wa agĩtumbũrania ciũria ici.
Could the Cabinet Secretary provide statistics on the total amount of funding allocated for bursaries at both the county and national levels over the past 3 years and clarify on how the funds have been disbursed per county? B, has the government maintained records of all bursary beneficiaries? And could the Cabinet Secretary explain the mechanism for tracking this information? Question number 3, what is the number of students who have benefited from bursary allocations at both the county and the national levels during the past 3 years?
It is true that the schools receive these bursaries and the ministry has no system of getting feedback or has not been having a system of getting feedback of how much bursary the students have received.
Oho igũrũ rĩa kĩũria kĩo rĩa thirikari ĩngĩturanĩra bursary ciothe nĩguo gũtua gĩthomo bũrĩ bũrũri-inĩ. Minister ũyũ mwerũ wa gĩthomo augĩte thirikari ndĩrĩ na ndari ya kũmenya mbeca iria ihũthĩkaga gĩthomo-inĩ, akiuga rĩu nĩ hĩndĩ ũhoro ũyũ ũracanwo kuonerwo njĩra.
I'm sad to hear that the Ministry of Education appears to lack awareness of how much bursaries goes to government schools, of which the ministry is in charge. Mr. Speaker, whether the bursary is given by CDF, by Women Rep, or by the county government, I believe the school receives the money and they're supposed to report back to the ministry. So I think this answer is not very satisfactory.
The exercise is uncoordinated. And because of that, in fact, I can go further to answer and state that there is no analysis that has been done to determine, for instance, how much money do you require for a child to start from ECD and go all the way to university. We do not have that data. That is the same position vis-a-vis that we do not have also data of how much money as a country are we spending on education. The 27% I talked about is the government allocation. There is other figures, other amounts that donors give, other people contribute, the donations we give. That analysis has not been done to determine how much money are we really spending in education. And that's the conversation that came about after we started having these issues relating to the higher education funding model. So it is ripe for us to discuss. I think it is...
Mĩario ĩno ĩrĩa ĩgegetie bũrũri ĩkiumana na thirikari kwaga ũmenyo igũrũ rĩa thogora wa gĩthomo bũrũri-inĩ nĩ ĩrarakĩte maseneta arĩa maugĩte rĩu nĩ gũkwendwo ndeto ĩno ĩgucĩrio njũng'wa na ĩgariũrwo.
How does the ministry then bridge that gap, and why are they not learning from since 2019?
Mr. Speaker, from the admission of the CS that there is no data present or available, or even the monies that are disbursed to schools, I think as a Senate we need to step in and assist the ministry so that we are able to have that data. In line with that, Mr. Speaker, and not to speak on behalf of Senator Mbogwa, there was a question he had asked about the 4 billion that was given to 14,426 as scholarship. Mr. Speaker, if you do the math, that is to say each student received 278,000, Mr. Speaker, within this year of 2024. And if this money was to go to capitation, if you divide that to 22,244, it means that it could have assisted 180,000 students. So, Mr. Speaker, I think the best thing is to have this discussion as a House on the motion that we have and help the Education Ministry to have data, because nobody knows where the money is going.
Mĩeri ĩrĩ mĩthiru, seneta wa Kiambu Karungo wa Thang'wa nĩendekithirie gĩthomo bũrũri-inĩ gĩtuo gĩa free na njĩra ya gũturanĩra bursary ciothe. Maitho mothe rĩu marĩ gwĩ thirikari ĩkorwo ĩgĩkinyĩria arutwo othe mathomo gũtarĩ marĩhi. Ũguo nĩguo gũtariĩ handũ-inĩ ha Kiambu TV. Niĩ njĩtagwo Tony wa Karomo.